Hi. It's a cop call time. Um, my friend Sergeant Hearn in probably should leave that plugged in, huh? My friend Sergeant Hearn um, got got the first signature on the latest police report, so it's now in the hands of the assigning sergeant. It had to be approved by the supervisor of the reporting officer, and then it's got to be approved by the supervisor of the investigator. So we're going to find out if that signature has been given yet. Hmm.
Please hang up now and dial 911. Tucson Police, Officer Shrink.
Hi. I'm calling about report number 1908
Hold on, let me write this down. 1908.
230002.
Okay. What do you just want to check the status of it, or what we call
Well,
for?
yes, and there's some supplemental information that I think you need to have.
Okay, let me pull up the case here, and we'll
Thanks.
see what we can do. Who are you?
I'm the person making the complaint.
What would be your name, Mr. I'm the person that's making the complaint?
It's Ms. Wasserberg. My first name is.
It's what?
That would be Ms. Wasserberg, not Mr. Sorry
I
about
didn't call
the.
you Mr. Oh,
Yeah, you did.
Miss Wassenberger?
No,
Wassenberg?
Wasserberg. My name is Tommy. It's the easiest thing to call me.
Oh, Tommy. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you Thomas?
I was. I'm a transgender female.
Oh, okay. You're transgender now. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, I always was, and I
How
recently.
would you like to be addressed today?
Tommy works, or Ms. Wasserberg,
Tommy.
please. Yeah.
Tommy? I'll call you Tommy.
That's cool. Thank you. And how would you like to be addressed?
Just anyway. Sir, officer, whatever you want to do. That's fine.
Right.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I have no idea what your records are saying because my name when up until last year was Thomas J, but now it's Tommy Jane.
Okay.
And this has been going on for several years, but they've advanced to this is internet cyber terrorism.
Okay. So I got you down here as Tommy.
Okay, that's me.
And then there's also Thomas.
Right. That's been legally changed from Thomas to Tommy.
Okay. We'll just go by Tommy.
Great.
All right. And I'm just going to read through this real quick and see where we're at here.
Yeah, that's the main thing I need to know is where are you at and where are you going to go, if anywhere.
Okay, so I read through it. So you've been getting threatening messages and from phone calls and all kinds of stuff like that.
Right, but they made a false 9/11 complaint of a report of a house fire.
At your house?
Yeah.
Oh, so did you have the fire department come over?
That should be part of the report. That's the main thing I'm concerned about because they're escalating constantly. No, I'm a bit of an internet celebrity. I don't have a really huge following, thank goodness, but I have some psychos, and they called the fire department, and they had they cost the city, according to Cap, it cost them $3,000 to move that equipment for that call. And how much does it cost to move the SWAT? Because my audience is reporting that they're seeing them plotting a swatting. But yeah. So I need to know what you're going to do, if anything, and if nothing, like you've been doing for the last 4 years. I need to go directly to the court to make sure the court knows that somebody might call your call center and you might dispatch the SWAT, and I could get hurt very badly.
Hey, Tommy, did you talk to somebody else this morning? Because I'm looking at a supplement here.
I talked to Sergeant Hearn, OPS, yesterday.
You didn't talk to anybody today?
No.
Okay, because I'm looking at something that was created this morning at 7:26. Maybe an officer was trying to get a hold of you this morning.
I don't know. This is the first I've heard of it. There was no.
Okay.
I have no missed calls that I saw. And this is the first. I think I was in the shower about that time.
Okay. Give me just 1 minute. I'm going to walk in the other room where this officer, it looked like they had tried to get a hold of you this morning.
Okay.
Let me check with them. Hold on 1 minute.
Cool.
Okay? I'll be right back.
All right. That'd be a first. If detective actually tried to get a hold of me, it'd be first time. And had 4 burglaries. And the detective never talked to me on any of them. I need to get out of the house. I think I'll leave early. I found a really good deal on olive oil at eBay last night. Let me see exactly what I bought. It's like 5 liters or something like that. Oh, I haven't bought it yet. Shit, I need to pay for that. Here's what I bought last night: a tuner, a reed trimmer, some reeds, a quart of Dr. Bronner's eucalyptus for $14. 16 ounce will cost $14 in a retail store. This was 35 bucks for 5 liters of Spanish extra virgin, first cold press from Andalusia. That should be good stuff. And under $100, that'll work. And we put it on the PayPal to pay next month. That's been working real good. That's one of the few things my father taught me that was worthwhile. Was how to properly play your credit. You use it, you roll it for 30 days. You know, I'll give him the $85 for this next month.
Tommy,
Yes.
you're still there? Okay.
Oh yeah.
I have the officer here. I'm going to put him on the line with you.
Okay.
Okay. 1 minute.
Thanks.
Good morning. How are you today?
Oh, better and better. I probably should let you know I got a camera going. Would you prefer that I kill it?
No, you can record it. That's fine. Actually, what I'm going to do though is I'm going to get a good phone number to call you back, and then I'm going to go back to my desk where I have all my stuff. I was actually looking at your case this morning.
Okay. Would you like to stream it?
If you want to stream it, you can stream it.
We'll do that some other. We'll do that. We'll do that another time.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is a class matter actually.
Okay. So what's the best phone number I can call you back at?
This one, it's 241-2776.
Okay. So I'm going to confirm 241-2776.
Right.
All right, ma'am. I will call you back in just a moment. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Happy day. Fucking egg Skippy. How about that? Fucking A Skippy. Yay. We actually have an investigator. And he'll live stream with me. I probably should tell the idiots that while I'm waiting for him to call. I'm not even going to open that. Oh shit, where to go? Hello? Are you there? Oh, hello.
Tommy?
Yes.
Hey, Tommy. It's Officer Hyde again.
Hyde. Have we met in person?
We have not met in person, no.
Okay. Have you talked to anybody that knows me?
Have I what? I'm sorry?
Have you talked to anybody that knows me?
No. I did some research on one of your previous cases. So then they sent me over because I guess Officer Obolos came out a few days ago and took another call from you. So I was just working on that case this morning.
Oh, so you were already looking at it before the prior call.
Yes.
Cool. Who am I speaking with? Hyde.
Hyde. H-Y-D-E.
Okay. Cool. Super. That's nice to know. I mean, I'm like I said, it's a class matter. Have you looked at the boards that we're complaining about? This Kiwi Farms and another message board.
Yes, actually. So the one that the case I have looked into some of the previous ones that were the Kiwi Farms and such as well. Yes.
Yeah, the owner of Kiwi Farms claims to have 2,000 targets, over 2,000 targets. They've driven at least 10 people to suicide. There have been a number of shooters connected to them, mass shootings, including the Christchurch and the El Paso shootings. Drill killings, all sorts of crazy shit. And so it's a bunch of like freaks. Mostly, and we're streaming about it tonight. I've got a youngster who's been following Christine Chandler, the person that Kiwi Farms is based on. He's been following her since she was in grade school, before she came out as Christine. And we're going to talk about that tonight. He's got the whole, he's watched the whole thing for years. And he's just a kid. He's like 19. Here I am, an established radical hippie from the 60s. I'm a biochemist, blacklisted biochemist that fell into the Rainbow family and married pranksters on Venice Beach. In 1982, I got shot in 1987, so the government's been paying my overhead since then.
Right.
So I'm just a transient artist. I play music, I write, and I do stonework. And I've been all over the country and landed here in 2014 and was finally able to take the beard off. Was hiding behind a beard all those years. So here we are. So I brought this with me. I mean, this goes back to 1999.
Yeah, like I said, I went through several of your previous case reports, so I'm pretty familiar with a lot of your past.
Cool.
I believe that was in February when you had called and talked to Sergeant Peterson, and then he had contacted me, and I did some research on.
Oh, super! He actually did that. Did you look at the material that somebody called Grand Marquis sent him?
Yeah, and so I actually, not only that, I went to a lot of these message boards that you stated in that you had provided copies of stuff. I read through tons of the message boards and forwarded that all back to OPS. But the case report from the 23rd, when Officer Avalos came out, that's the one I was looking into this morning. So, do you know who this Major Zero is?
Not a clue.
Okay, because unfortunately, all the phone numbers that he's sending you messages from are completely untraceable. It looks like they're being created by a burner app. And so I was unable to locate any actual place or person associated with those numbers.
I'm sure that the tools exist to bag the guy, but they're very sophisticated and very rare, and not real common in any local police departments.
Right, that would be probably more of like an NSA thing or an FBI.
Well, see, this is what Lieutenant Scott promised years ago that never happened. Is that, like I say, this is a class matter. There have been 10 people driven to suicide. They're very clearly trying to gaslight me into it, destroy my credibility with a bunch of lies, destroy my ability to use the internet. This is a federal crime. There's a lot of federal statutes that are being broken here. And it's really time that somebody put the heat to the FBI and find out why they have not moved on the Kiwi Farms and the administrators of the Kiwi Farms.
Have you spoken to the FBI?
They won't talk to me. I tried to talk to them a couple of weeks ago, and they hung up on me. I tried to give them a new complaint, and they just hung up. And it just goes, I don't even get a response from the IC3 form, and the other victims that I've talked to have the same experience. They get stroked by the locals and turned off by the FBI. Nobody, they can get a commitment on anybody. The locals don't have the expertise or the jurisdiction, and the FBI is like, it's beneath our thresholds for financial loss and public safety threat, which is bullshit because people are dying.
And I'm assuming this isn't happening just here in Tucson, this is across the country. Yeah.
Probably all over the world, but definitely these guys key on queers. They love to drive queers nuts. They had, you know, that. Did you hear about the black guy that was dating a transgender woman that got bullied to death into suicide? Almost killed her too, but she got away in time. Did you hear about that one?
I don't think so. No.
That was their most recent bag. The girl that the trans girl in Portland that set herself on fire, that was one of theirs. I even have something from them that they said, oh, you're going to be just like Chloe Segal. You're gonna, you know, he's trying to tell me to kill myself, and you're going to be just like Chloe Segal, who was the girl in Portland. These guys are sick, and they're breaking. You know, Brandenburg. Are you familiar with the Brandenburg decision?
No.
That's one you need to study, and you need to study the Megan Meyer Cyberbullying Act. It got Brandenburg is from 1969. The Schenck, Schenk, is where Holmes established the limits that you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. That's where the limits were established, and they were refined by Brandenburg. The Megan Meyer Cyberbullying Act was introduced in 2009. Rolf is one of the sponsors, and it got buried in committee, mainly because they had no way of really enforcing speech. That's where the flaw is. So the Brandenburg test has to be more strictly applied for there to be any prosecutions. Are you following me?
I'm taking notes.
Okay. Schenck, Schenk, is 1917 or 19, something like that. And Brandenburg's 1969. And Megan Meyer is 2009. And it's MEIER.
So, like, I think we're both kind of on the same page here. Unfortunately, a lot of this is going to be like need to be handled by a federal entity. As for the most recent case, like I said, that you filed with Officer Avalos when he came out, I believe he came out to your house. That one, like I said, none of the phone numbers that are on there. I went through all of them. They're all fake burner numbers.
That's VoIP. It's Google. Google does it. Google does it. Or they make a Google internet call, and it assigns you a number for the call. And
the other one that's signed by that Jason Trowbridge. I found no local records for Jason, and he comes back with a Las Vegas prefix. I also did a public record search and found no one who by that name living currently or in the past in Las Vegas or the Las Vegas area.
Did you look? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so at this point, I just really don't have much to go on.
Right.
I don't have any way to trace down any of those people with the information that we currently have. Well, it's all documented, and I'm going to complete a supplement to that original case report, basically outlining what I've done looking for these numbers, and then unfortunately, we kind of hit dead end with those numbers and the names. But I will definitely document it all so that we'll have that if it becomes necessary.
When are we going to get an appeal to the FBI to step in on this?
Well, that really doesn't have anything to do with the local police department. I can't appeal the FBI.
Who is gonna here we're sitting here, you're agreeing, you're telling me yes, but we can't do anything. The FBI needs to, but we aren't going to put it to them. Do I need to do that in the court?
I would say yes. Just because, like, I can't tell the FBI what to do.
Right. Well, Matt Golden was telling me a couple of years ago he was reluctant to do it because he was afraid of his reputation with them. There's freaking federal crime going on here by one site that there are victims all over the country. I'm bringing you like real solid evidence of it, and you're just like, I don't have the tools or the jurisdiction, and we can't make the FBI do anything. Okay, I get it. I'll see you in court, I guess. Well, I understand that. Pardon me? Congressman, I did, and the congressman, I don't know what the congressman sent him because he wouldn't show it to me, but the FBI came back with a letter that was totally bullshit, and he signed the whole thing off.
Yeah, I can see where that's frustrating.
Well, I've been targeted by them since 1970.
Couple things I would recommend is maybe remove your phone number from.
It's not something that I'm willing to do. I'm trying to run a business from here.
Okay. See, and I guess.
I have my phone number blocked to where it won't accept a restricted. Well, it won't even ring for a restricted.
Oh yeah, because I had to call you twice because automatically my phone is obviously restricted because it's the police department.
Right. It won't even ring for me.
I called and it went to your voicemail, so then I just called back.
Yeah, right. It won't ring for me. It was just too much. They were, I'm streaming, and they're disrupting the conversation in the stream.
Yeah, and then I would also say any of those numbers that they do use, even though they're fake numbers, they may try to use them again. So I would just block.
Oh, I do. I block them as soon as I see them call. If I'm paying close enough attention. So basically, you've been looking at this for a while and documenting more, and actually, and I'm going to want your report number because it sounds like you're the only one that's really been doing real work on this.
So it's actually I'm going to do it under the same report number that you have from that Officer Avalos did. I'm going to do a supplement to his report.
Cool. So everything from that you've been looking at all that time will be in this report?
Well, everything from this new report will be in there.
No, I want to see your old notes. You're the only one that's really said that you really did anything serious to look at it.
Okay. So I'm trying to think because I don't think I did a supplement to your previous one. I just sent all that information over to OPS.
So it should be in his report.
It should be in there.
Okay.
But like I said, everything that I did on this new report, have you gotten a copy of the report yet or not?
I have no copies of anything. That's why, there's so many out there, I don't even know which ones to get at this point. The one that, do you have the number for the one you sent to Peterson?
No, I don't off the top of my head.
Do you remember the date of that one? That was February? Was that February or April?
It was from February, yeah.
From February.
Let me see.
Gotcha. I think I know which one it was.
Okay. And then the report from, I'm trying to find the one from.
Might have been 1902150685 by Gast.
Could be. I'm not 100% sure.
It looks like that looks like one. That's
here's one of them too. Hang on. So one of the ones that was a subject of was actually from December of last year. But it looks like I looked into it in February. So it was 1812050439.
1812050439.
Correct. And then the one that Officer Avalos came out, the 19.
Yeah, I've got that one.
Okay.
So that's all your notes are going to be between those two?
Because I'll complete my supplement today.
Cool.
And then my sergeant will approve it, but it won't be available for a couple of days. So.
Well, I'm going to have a little talk with OPS and find out exactly what report is going to have your notes and what report is going to have the material that was sent by Grand Marquis. Okay, great.
So maybe wait until like Monday-ish, and then you should be able to go down to the main station and get a copy of not only Officer Avalos' report, but my supplement to that report as well.
Okay, and then I'll just go straight to the courthouse from there because it's obvious that we're just spinning our gears. That you're not going to have, you've been investigating, you see the crime, but it needs federal prosecution, and nobody's willing to put it there. So.
Well, and see, here's one of the issues with like the current one is they're very, I don't know if I want to say smart, but they've done a very good job of not making any direct threat. So they're not making a threat saying specifically like, hey, I'm going to come over there and I'm going to hurt you. It says like, things like, oh, we're waiting outside, it's your move. Well,
no, they've also, there's some of them where they said they were leaving bombs. There was bomb threats in there.
Yeah, I'm talking about from the most recent one, from the Avalos one.
Right.
So I don't know if they're getting smarter now or what.
Well,
all the photos that he took.
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know what to think at this point. Because here I'm just a crazy old hippie who's mostly been off the grid for the last 35 years, right?
Yeah.
and I'm being, I grew up with my hands inside and on the controls of the stuff because it's what my family did. But when they packed the System 32 down into a telephone, it was like, oh, fuck that. No more. So, all this stuff that they can do with smartphones that they're doing to me is just like beyond my comprehension of how to like interdict it, protect myself from it. I'm having enough trouble protecting myself from the liars that are in my face uh, they literally make it impossible for me to keep an account going anywhere. Um, and I can't get any relief from the hosts without court, and I can't get, I can't afford an attorney. And this is typical. This is very typical. I have at least 5 more people ready to come on as co-plaintiff with almost identical stories. Queer artists getting jammed and totally destroying their lives. And nobody will do anything about it, is where it's at. And I appreciate the work you've done so far.
Yeah, and like I said, I can understand your frustration. I really can. But like with this most recent one, technically, like as per our statutes, since there's no actual threat,
right?
Harm,
well, that's Brandenburg.
Yeah, and then that's when I also, like I said, I still tried to figure out who these people are, but they're using burner phones and fake identities.
Right. Did you look at the one where it was this person named Richie calling from his aunt's, and his aunt gave me the phone number of his mother?
I don't recall seeing that one specifically. No.
I probably should send that to you because that's the main player in my game.
Okay.
This person named Sneasel. He's the one who's authoring my thread and being the admitting the forum that they have for me. And they were trying to get me on a stream last fall and called me from a landline that turned out to be the kid's aunt. But then it could all have been a total game too. I don't know.
Right. Do you happen to have that phone number?
Yeah. Let me see if I can get it for you real quick. Okay. Otherwise, I'll have to send. Okay, now how do we get off of that screen? Off of that screen, into the messages. Oh shit, do I even have that message? It's from the old phone, son of a bitch. I'm gonna have to look it up. Yeah, it was in the old phone.
No worries.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up and get it to you.
No worries. Would you rather my email or I can give you my desk line?
Well, I can text it to you just right off of this number. If you like, you don't have to give me anything else.
Well, this is a landline.
Oh, okay, so I won't be able to get it.
Yeah, so this is my desk phone.
Gotcha. Okay, so whatever you want to give me, it'll work.
Okay, well, you can call me back at this number. That's like literally my desk phone.
Oh, okay, so I'll just leave it as a voice message if you don't pick it up.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
Okay, that'll work. Okay, one last thing. Would you please put the call center on notice about emergency calls to this address that are not from this number?
So you don't want someone to respond?
I think that you need to flag any emergency call from this address that is not from this number, sir, please.
Okay.
That will be done?
I can do that.
Cool, because they're threatening to SWAT. So, if I don't call 911, somebody's playing a game most likely.
Okay. I'll put some notes in the system there for that.
Great.
Okay.
Great. Well, you made my day. Now I know I have to go to the court, but I know I have a real positive witness to bring with me.
All right. So is there anything else I can do for you today, man?
50-pound bag of $5 bills, or a lawyer that'll work for free, or a man with a vagina that's really a hunk and got well off and would want somebody to cook and clean for him.
I have none of those things.
Oh, well. Thanks so much for your help, though. I mean, it really totally changed a lot of my brain waves about all of
Okay.
this. To know
Well,
that there's
I'm glad
actually
I could
been
help.
somebody like looking at it and taking real notes.
I'm definitely glad that I could help.
Super. You have a great day, man. Thanks so much again.
You too as well.
Bye bye. Okay, well, there you have it. Tucson Police has investigated. They have determined that there's federal crimes, but there's nothing they can do about it, and they're not willing to put it to the feds. I have to do that. So probably let's see if I can get a lawyer. Let's get a see if I can get a lawyer on the phone. As long as let's see if we can get a lawyer. So just even give me a consultation that I can afford. Ask them if they take PayPal credit. Consultation.
This is Jenny.
Hi, Jenny, did you say?
Jody.
Jody. My name's Tommy.
Hi, Thomas.
I'm not Thomas. I'm Tommy.
Oh, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm a female person, please.
Who do you need? I'm sorry, I didn't catch the name.
I'm calling because I was searching for a litigation attorney.
Okay, let me see if I can get Jennifer on the line with you. She's one of my paralegals. She can gather a little bit of information and see if we can help you out, okay?
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. One moment, Tommy. This is Jennifer. How may I help you?
Hi, Jennifer. My name's Tommy Wasserberg.
Yes.
I'm better known as Tommy Tudor.
Okay.
I'm a transgender hippie activist artist, pretty well known.
Okay.
Got kind of
Okay.
notorious rebel from the 60s kind of person. Been living here for 5 years. Brought this with me. I'm kind of an internet celebrity in ways and have like gangs of cyber terrorists after me.
Okay. Forgive me, I'm 52, so I'm not
No,
an internet celebrity now. I don't know, so forgive me for not.
well, I'm not much of an internet celebrity. You know, I have a very
Okay.
limited following because I don't collect friends. I'm an old hippie, and I have,
Right.
most of my friends are also artists, activists, educators, things like that, right?
Right.
And
So
I'm
that's
getting
the old-fashioned way you actually meet them, right?
right. We know each other,
Right.
and we communicate in whole words.
Yeah, I remember those days. Those were nice.
Right. Well, no, we still have that kind of circles at Facebook and on Hangouts and places like that that we're constantly having to defend from the trolls, which is
Okay.
why I'm on the phone with you now. I'm also recording this because I'm before this. I just have a camera running. It's not
Okay.
streaming though. It's just bagging the conversation. I just got off the phone with Detective Hyde of the Tucson Police, who's been investigating my complaint since last December. And they're pretty much handcuffed at this point. And, they called a 911 prank last week. They sent the fire department out here.
Oh gosh. Okay.
And they're threatening, they're plotting to send the SWAT. Now, Officer Hyde is going to put a flag in there not to accept any 911 calls from any number other than mine.
Okay.
But there's nothing he can do. They don't have the tools to identify the perpetrators,
Okay.
and they don't have the jurisdiction to extradite them.
Okay.
The FBI, and this is a class matter. I'm being targeted by a gang of cyber terrorists that has over 2,000 targets. They've driven 10 people to suicide. They've been connected to major shootings, including Christchurch and El Paso. It's an ugly scene. I have at least 5 other victims of theirs ready to come on board for a class complaint. What I was just informed by Hyde was that there is nothing he can do to force the FBI to do anything. The FBI will not even talk to me. They hang up on me. And my only option at this point is to go into the federal court. My plan has been to go in there with a motion to appoint attorney, a motion for class status, a motion for a RICO investigation against the troll bases, and restraining orders against the hosts. That's what I need to do, and I'm poor. I can't afford, if I need to do it like a consultation with somebody like you to help me put it together, that I can afford to do.
Okay. Well, let me just back up and tell you, I'm a paralegal in the office. Like Jody says to folks when they call in, but I do have my law degree, but I don't have my license in Arizona. But I take the information and then sort of, if I know right away it's something we can't help them with, it's like if they called with a family law case, I would say, we don't do that. If it's something that's questionable, it takes, legal
I'm sorry. I believe that I think it's Title 42 civil rights stuff. It's where we're looking to start.
Right. So you're talking sort of like either Federal Tort Claims Act or a defamation or something of that nature.
All of the above. Invasion of privacy by misappropriation, defamation, the whole smear.
Right. So what I'll do is what I normally do when someone calls in, I get their contact information. I'm going to need to get a little bit more information from you about what was said, where at least just a little overview, and then depending, there's a lot of issues here as you know. So if it was just straight
ACLU turned it down because they didn't see a serious enough constitutional issue.
Okay.
Mainly because it's at the Brandenburg. You know the Brandenburg test?
I don't.
It's the free speech. With the limits of free speech.
Right. The yelling fire.
Well, that's from Schenck in 1919. Okay. Brandenburg is pretty much where you got to show the clear and present danger of the speech. Okay. It's just not, they can't. And there's a Megan Meyer Cyberbullying Act that got hung up for the same reasons. Is that they aren't able to clearly define the boundary. And there's no teeth in the laws for local people to extradite any out-of-state offenders for it.
Okay.
And that's the issue that I am trying to get represented for myself and these other victims of this site.
Okay. So let me get all your contact information. I always do a memo for the attorneys in the office, and there's an attorney specifically does defamation, and then we have several attorneys including that attorney who do any sort of negligent personal injury, tort, that sort of thing.
No, this is invasion. This is copyright infringement and defamation kind of stuff mainly.
Right.
And denial of service by the police. I'm being discriminated against.
Right. So there's lots of.
Yeah, and it's happening to a lot of people. This is not just me.
Right. Okay. So let me get your contact information and then a little bit more information about exactly what happened when. And
okay.
a lot of what happened when the just at least when it first started, kind of a.
I can give you a 411 that starts in 1999.
Okay, and let me get the spelling of your given name, of your known name, of your.
Okay,
address, your
my birth name is Thomas J, with the usual spellings, Jay, and my last name is Wasserberg. And last fall, I had my name legally changed and my gender marker changed to Tommy Jane, TOMMIE, JAYNE. Now, I've been known on the internet for many years as Tommy Tudor, but the Tommy was original spelling of Tommy was the standard issue one. So there's a lot of, if you search on Thomas J. Wasserberg and Tommy Tudor, a ton of garbage that has been written about me will come spewing out at you.
Okay, and is Tommy Tudor TOMMY then?
Correct. I'm using TOMMIE currently, but all the old archive, all the nasty shit is going to come back at you under my original name and Tommy Tudor.
Okay, and how are we spelling Tudor?
TOOTER.
TOOTER. Okay, and not does it matter because you said it to me. So you were born a male and transgender to a female.
Well, not quite like that.
Okay.
I was assigned male at birth. I had an intersex condition that they operated on and totally fucked my world up with.
Okay.
And all I really did was hide behind a beard all my life and shave it off 6 years ago.
Got it. Okay. So you prefer to be referred to as
female, right?
Okay. All right. Perfect. I got it. Yep. They picked the wrong gender when you say you're intergender, and they picked the wrong.
Well, I'm actually Native Americans call me a two-spirit, where I'm kind of both.
Right.
But my male aspect's real unpleasant.
Okay.
Like most male aspects are.
Right. I was going to say, I think we all have a little bit of that.
Right. And that was very difficult for me to be male for 60 years.
Right.
I'm enjoying myself. And all I had to change was that I have to shave every day and keep myself smelling nice.
Right.
That's all I had to do. Guys jump out of their bus seats for me. I love it.
Right. People overjoyed. Yeah, it's a good deal, I think.
Yeah, it is good. Well, I know somebody who's female to male, transgender, and we were talking about it, and I asked her, well, how come you don't just transition? She laughed and she pointed at her crotch. She says, "This seems a weapon." Sorry, this thing's a weapon. I ain't giving it up.
Right, absolutely. There's a lot of power to that. Absolutely. Yeah, we could get into a whole conversation about that.
Oh well, yeah. Because it's such a weird topic, and it's so out there right now, driving everybody nuts. And most people wish everybody just shut up about sexual orientation and gender expression. It's like, it's none of your business. It's not hurting anybody. Shut up.
Right. Bigger things to worry about.
Right.
Or to be upset about,
Exactly. So where were we?
Okay, so, and then your phone number?
241-2776-520. Area code.
Okay. And then your mailing address and email address?
160 East 21st.
Okay.
And that'll be 85701.
Okay.
And the best email to use is Dr. What's This? DRWHATS @hotmail.
Now, let me read that back to you. DRWHATS.
Nope.
Nope.
That didn't sound right. What? Dr. DR, the word what's without the apostrophe. WHATS.
Right.
THIS.
Yep, that's what I said.
Okay.
Yep, that's okay. I know it's hard. Let me just say it again. So DRWHATSTHIS
Yeah. Okay, you got it.
Okay. Yeah, I probably just you're probably you try to spell it out or what have you. I know I'm gonna be.
Well, the connection's a little fuzzy on this end.
Yeah, but I often get it wrong. That's why I always read it back.
Okay.
So
So you got my contacts.
Yep. So what?
I'm claiming conspiracy that is coming from a rogue element of the federal government that began in at least 1999.
Okay.
I experienced a break-in within a half hour of my first logging on from my partner's machine. We're people of interest to them because we're like the hemp activists, and I was in the Jewish Defense League. We could hear them breathing on the line.
Right.
So I pegged the needles on the craftitude test. They've been watching me since I was a little kid.
Okay.
They were doing backflips trying to get me in the Navy after I got out of college.
Okay.
And so I've always been a person of interest, potential terrorist to them.
Okay.
And I was shot in 1987 for something I wrote about the CIA drug mafia in Venice Beach at the height of Contragate, which I've been living on. I've been living off the disability. They didn't want to give me a physical disability, but boy, they were glad to write me off psychiatric.
Right. Okay.
So that's where it's at. Is I got this giant psych history, but a current diagnosis of GD with associated CPTSD.
Okay.
And GD is not considered a mental illness anymore. Gender dysphoria.
Okay.
So anyway.
Yes. Okay. Got it.
So anyway, it started January 21st, 1999, and I basically was having like horrible problems. I'd see break-ins from everywhere. I could not keep the internet out of my computer. Okay. And they were just tearing them up. Me fighting back, it'd burn up the boards. I lost like 50 computers and communicated with the FBI about it for years from Del Valle, Texas. An agent named Dwight Holland, a.k.a. Smokey. I talked to him for years about it, and there was nothing they'd do because it was beneath their threshold in financial loss, and there wasn't enough threat to the public safety. And it went on for years there, and then from Austin, I ended up here and brought it with me here. It escalated on me in 2005 when I discovered a white nationalist group that was running a sex slaving ring behind a site called scam.com.
Okay.
And it just kept escalating from there. And I haven't been able to keep a web, I can't keep an account at any social network site running. Twitter won't let me have an account there at all.
Okay, when you say escalating, do you mean that you're having security breaches and the computers? And forgive me for not knowing more about.
Well, that's part of it, but much more than the security breaches on the computer. I'm being ganged up on the social networks and end up getting banned from places because of the attacks on me.
Okay, so is it? And again, forgive me for not knowing, but. So are people saying that, do they go on your website or do you have a website?
Everywhere they can possibly do it. They're trying to paint me as a pedophile dog fucker and, a fraud, a fake tranny, somebody who doesn't do honest business, anything they can smear me with. The pedophile accusation is based on a story I told foolishly, embellishing it too much as an exercise in writing erotic fiction. That was actually in reality a very innocent one of them things that happens often that wouldn't have even raised any eyebrows in most of the rest of the world. Is a girl that was not quite 16 who had been living with somebody for a year before she showed up with me and my partner of the moment. Was in my bed with her one evening when I came home. They invited me in, and the older woman broke it up real quickly because I was paying too much attention to the younger one, and that was that. And because of that, I'm a pedophile.
Okay.
And the dog fucker thing is about, I had a dog that we helped masturbate. That's not uncommon. There was nothing, there was no sexual gratification in it for the people. Yeah, it's weird, but there's plenty of people that do it. And no, I did not fornicate the dog. And that's what they're trying to portray out there.
Okay. And is it, I think you said, with a group of people, it's all sorts of folks, it's an individual, like an individual goes on and says stuff, and it's groups of people, but you don't know
the base, no, I know the owners of the sites, and I have a few of the users identified. The site that started this, to get back to the timeline, in 2010, I got pushed onto a site called Another Message Board.
Okay.
And they are apparently, and I have no way of verifying this, and neither does the TPD. They are apparently a group of DoD IT contractors, security services.
Okay.
And they use that site as a base of their operations. I have one witness that's an admin, but I think they keep him in the dark and just use him, because he's told me that there are hidden forums that he can't see.
Okay.
And people have sent me shots from these hidden forums over the years that show that they're like big-time criminals.
Okay.
And I have these shots. And Officer Hyde, to bring it into the here and now, because what happened, real quickly, is Another Message Board recruited this gang of cyber terrorists, the Keys on queer artists. And they're based at a place called kiwifarms.net. Okay, so you got the general scenario. A couple of weeks ago, they called 911 telling them there was a house fire.
Okay.
And so this report was that night, but it's not, the house fire is not part of that report. This is just cyber terrorism on my phone.
Okay.
1908-23-0002. And the detective on it is Hyde, Hyde. Now he started looking at this, and he's got notes that are on both this report and on this one, 1812-0504-39. 39.
Okay.
So there will be notes on both of those. The first one is a report made through OPS.
Okay, that was basically cyberbullying.
Pardon me?
The first one was basically cyberbullying.
Well, I don't know how they're reporting it, but that's what's going on. It's cyberbullying, and it's invasion of privacy by misappropriation and harassment, and use of electronic communications devices for that stuff is illegal as hell.
Okay.
All that.
Did both these reports come out this year, or what year did these reports come out? When did this happen?
Well, the 1-9 is this year.
Right.
Was the 23rd of August, and the 1-8 was on December 5th. That's how you read them. The year is first, then the month, then the day.
Yeah. And so Detective Hyde, just spelled like Jekyll and Hyde, Hyde.
Right.
Okay. He basically, he looked into it, said there's too much, it's too big, there's not enough danger, and so we're not going to do anything about it. Basically.
No, that's not what he said.
No.
Not really. He's unable to identify anybody because he doesn't have the tools to trace the calls. They're vapor numbers. And they've also, from like the text messages, were not quite up to standard of the Brandenburg test. But there were others that, like, they were saying they were leaving bombs. So basically what Hyde was saying, if I understood him correctly, is that, yes, there is crimes. Yes, he would put the call center on notice not to accept emergency calls from anybody but my number for this address.
Right.
And there was nothing he could do to force the FBI to do anything, and he doesn't have the tools or the jurisdiction to prosecute anybody, and he can't find anybody to prosecute.
Right.
That's where it's at. And that's why a RICO needs to be ordered, because that is where it's at for every single victim trying to report it around the country for this one site. Somebody, some mass tort lawyer needs to like go, oh, this looks like something I can make a name for myself with.
Right. Okay. All right. So, yeah, this is, as you know, it's very complex. So I'm gonna.
It's extremely complex. ACLU turned me down.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it was just more. It was more than they could afford to litigate.
Right. Absolutely. So I'm going to give all this information to a couple of attorneys in the office that might be interested, or at least handle this type of thing.
At very least, if you can't do anything at all, I'm hoping you'll be able to have somebody sit down with me and help me compose the damn thing. And I'll pay for that. Because I have to file. I have no other choice but to file at this point. We're past discussions.
Okay. All right, and when you say file, I know you're talking about being...
9th District. It has to go in the 9th District.
Just your own complaint. I know you said there might
pro
be
se.
Yeah,
I'm going in pro se with co-plaintiffs.
Okay.
And in purpurs. I can't afford the fees either.
Right.
I mean, I could come up with a few $100 to sit down with a paralegal to help me compose it. Is the best I can do.
Okay. Well, let me talk with the attorneys in the office, do this memo. You might get called today. You might not get called till later in the week. It could even be next week. I just don't want you to think, hey,
that's cool. Detective Hyde put me on hold until Monday. Told me on Monday, talk to him again.
Okay. But I will get back to you, or one of the attorneys.
Great. Thanks so much for your time, Jennifer.
Absolutely. And I'll get this to him and get all the information, and we'll let you know what we can do, if anything. And
super.
In the next week or so, I'm thinking.
I really appreciate it. Very few attorneys have taken the time to even listen to this much of the story before they say, "No, there ain't nothing I can do about that."
Oh, no problem. And can I call you Tommy?
Please do.
Okay, Tommy. No, I'm glad to do that. And you can't know if you can help someone if you don't get the story.
Right. Well, a lot of attorneys are in business for nothing but making money, and if it doesn't fit their forms, they don't want to deal with it.
Right.
It's not cost effective. If they can't just fill out a form and go file it, it's too much work.
Right. No, I understand. So, but I'm glad to chat with you. And
thanks.
Like I say, in a week, maybe less.
I'll look forward to it. And if I haven't heard from you by Monday, you'll be hearing from me again.
That sounds fair.
Because that's when I'm going to go down to the police station, get the reports, and go straight to the court from there. Was my plan.
Okay, that sounds perfect. And just let me make sure 520-241-2776.
That is correct, ma'am.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Then I will talk with you by Monday, one way or the other.
Super.
I'll be calling you.
Thank you. Happy day, Jennifer. Bye-bye. Cool. Fuck you guys. That's an hour's worth of good discussion. Well, I can hardly wait to see the critique of this shit. And that's where it's at, fellas. There's going to be filing real soon. Somebody's going to do it. And if nobody else is going to do it, I will. Okay, so happy day. Thanks for watching. Bye.